Before I started work that December 79, I had the opportunity to enjoy a short holiday just before Christmas, because we had just come back from Kwale, and Daddy saw how exhausted I looked, because the 3 months actually sapped my energy in Kwale. As like what I have been telling you, you would actually learn from that, all the things that happened. So I looked quite, I don't know whether to say wretched, but I looked exhausted. And Daddy said no, that I needed a holiday before going back to the office. So he decided to take me on a cruise and booked a very expensive compartment, or what should I call it, on a cruise ship called General Manjin. This ship sailed from Marseille in France down to West Africa, along the Gulf of Guinea to the equator and back. It was an 8-day Christmas cruise. And so when the boat berthed in Lagos, we joined it. And it took us first to the Cameroons, and we stopped in Douala. What it was doing was, when it stops in any town, everybody would come down from the ship and go to the town. They will give us time, you know, when to go around the town or do something in town and get back to the ship. So in Douala, in the Cameroons, we went down, we were taken to a banana plantation, and we ate so much banana there. We enjoyed ourselves. It was a fantastic this thing, and then drove us around part of the town before we were taken back to the boat. When we got on the boat, the next place they took us was to Gabon. And in Gabon, the ship stopped in Libreville, and we went down in Libreville. Now, Gabon was a place where there were so many Igbo people. When the Biafran war was going on, a lot of Igbos were flown to Gabon, because Gabon was one of the first countries to recognize Biafra when it declared supposedly, you know, independence from Nigeria. So Gabon was one of the countries. Haiti was another one, you know, and so forth. So anyway, as we got to Gabon, I remembered that a lot of Igbos were in Gabon. Even my friend, Mrs. Wakamokoro, was in Gabon, but of course there was no way of going into the town to look for anybody. So what I did there was to write a letter and ask somebody in the boat if they could give it to who can post it in the post office to my parents. Because from Nigeria, you couldn't post any letter. There was no communication at all between Biafra and Nigeria. So I didn't know if my parents were alive. I didn't know if any of my family members were alive. They didn't know if I was alive. So this was the type of thing really that disturbed me a lot whilst that war was going on. So I was able to post a letter to tell my parents that I was okay, my husband was okay, the children were okay, and so forth. And that letter that I posted was such a relief to me. I said, okay, my parents will at least now know that I am fine. I am hoping that they too are fine. And it happened to be Christmas Eve. So we now, before that Christmas Eve, we just managed to arrive in, Congo Brazzaville. We arrived in Congo Brazzaville, and we were able to attend Mass in one of the churches. And this was the first time I saw native drums being used in mass. Or I was used to organ, you know. And the first time I saw native drums being used, and it was beautiful. We enjoyed that mass, and they sang in the native language. So when we finished in Congo, Brazzaville, where else did we go? Yes, where we stopped in Congo, Brazzaville was a place they called Pont-Noir. Called it Pont-Noir. We also went ashore, and then the boat now turned, crossed the equator, and started coming back to Nigeria, sailing